Red Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. It's week 2 of Thursday Night Thunder, and the Coast to Coast Racing League brings the modifieds to the Steel City. Lernerville Speedway hosts some big block modified races from time to time, but well known for the sprint cars and the late models. But tonight, the modifieds are set to do business in the high banks of Lernerville, where anything can happen at this track. We're so glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala here with you. 358s are just about set to go, brought to you by Amity Construction Corps, one of the newest members of the Coast to Coast Racing League family. We also have a new big block sponsor as well in tow. We will talk about them in just a little bit. So we get set to go for our fixed 358s tonight, where we have a great car count. 28 drivers with us. Last week the series had its season opener, and it was at the Oswego Speedway. A fun one, that's for sure. And the Weedsport Speedway. In the end, Anthony Morano took the win. And a great race over Dan McLaren, Clay Christopherson. In fact, the Ant-Man swept both the small blocks and the big blocks on Thursday night. And he looks to do that once again tonight. Qualifying just about set to go here. And we will focus on your favorite drivers here as soon as they come on track. First driver we'll watch on the track, the number 015. That's driven by Eddie Brissett. So again, all the drivers with 2 laps of qualifying, 2 minutes to put 2 laps on the board. Of course, it is their best lap that matters. Remember, we invert the top 4 drivers prior to the green flag, so we are looking at spots 13 through 16 as the pole sitters here, as we'll have 4 heats set for you this evening. Green means they're on their best lap. Purple means they're on a pole lap. Brissett sets the bar in the 015 at a 16:15, but it's Scott Rayom that puts the 444 up top. Now it's Isaac Salas at a 15:50. Here's Michael Vitale in the Gears Unlimited 213. The Jokester makes his way through turns number 3 and 4. Is he going to put a time up here? We'll have to see. Isaac Salas, meanwhile, the quickest amongst all drivers at a 15:50. Quick time, Zach Chapman. Shaggy goes 15:46. Where in the world is Shaggy tonight? I think he's hanging out in the Gambler chat tonight instead, so. Yes, that is the plan here, but Zach Chapman puts the Mystery Machine to the top of the charts, the 15:46. Trevor Giroux just went up to third, 15:53. As the rest of the lap times start to come in here, Jason Butterfield just worked an 18:98. Under 20 seconds left to go here in qualifying. Butters looks for a much better lap time. We'll see if he can get that in his Venom Racing ride. Michael Vecchio in the 247, the official sponsor of the Big Blocks. We'll talk about him in just a little bit. His second lap time, or first lap time, is 16:06. Better lap time for Butterfield, 16:33. Dean Reynolds, Chris Salvi, Scott Rayom, and Randall Dixon, your pole sitters for each of the heat races tonight. So we get set to go for heat race number 1. Heat 1 brought to you by our friends at Gambler Motorsports, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. And so here's how they line up, as it's Dino on pole position, the number 79 to the outside, Alex Pomelo in the 397. Row number 2, the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. To his outside, it's Shaggy, Zach Chapman in car 72. Row number 3, it's Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Next to him, Butch Baker in the 97. Final car on the grid tonight, the 247 of Michael Vecchio. First off, let's know who you're rooting for in the chat. We thank you for joining us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But also, we have the fall-off count. If you're new to the Coast to Coast Racing League, every time we go to Lernerville and it's broadcasted by me on the Slide Job Racing Network, we have a fall-off count. If a car has all 4 tires go over the track, whether it be 1 or 2, the back straight, or 3 and 4, that counts as a fall-off here. Remember, 2 races tonight and not 3. Maybe a little something to keep your eye on. I'm going to go with 17 this evening. So put your guesses down in the chat. Of course, Jason Butterfield checking in, rooting for Venom Racing as we get set to go for Heat 1. Top 4 transfer. Winner is on pole position. We're underway. Good start for Butch Baker as we got a lot of contact being made between Baker and Zach Chapman, 3 wide down the back chute. It was Reynolds and Pomelo correction that were racing for the lead. The 397 leads the opening circuit. Jeff Barker, Kurt Schatzer duking at it for the 3rd spot on the racetrack. Barker likes the bottom here. In fact, Lernerville, one of his favorite tracks in the game without question. Schatzer down the final transfer spot. Let's see if Zach Chapman can make a run underneath on Superman, but we got a race for the lead here between a pair of purple cars. Dean Reynolds all over the bumper of Alex Pomelo. Can the 79 put her out in the front? Was a 10th better last time by at the line. This time by cuts it down by 300ths. Pulls up to the quarter panel of the 397, but can't get some bite off at turn number 2. Meanwhile, the battle for the 4th position. Shaggy up to the final transfer spots, made his way past Kurt Schatzer in the 218, and so moved the 72 up to 4th. Good lap last time by for the 397 of Pomelo. 400ths better than Dean Reynolds. This time by, 3 to go in Heat 1. And Schatzer, meanwhile, fighting back in that 218 for the final spot in. Chapman has to get on the binders to avoid hitting the 513. Advantage to Kurt Schatzer. Just had the quickest lap last time by at a 15:61. And he has cleared Zach Chapman. And Chapman's got company from Butch Baker for 5th. That is huge with 2 laps to go. Dino once again trying everything to get past the 397. But we know that Dino is a clean racer and won't take too many risks, that's for sure. But if he finishes second, he has to come from fifth in tonight's 30-lap feature. Final lap underway. Will your pollster be Pomelo or will it be Dean Reynolds? We know it's going to be a purple car on the grid. Pomelo or Reynolds? Dino tries to make a move in 3 and 4. Won't have enough time. Alex Pomelo takes the win in Heat 1. Reynolds second, Barker third, Schatzer fourth, Baker fifth, Chapman sixth, and Vecchio seventh. So we now move on to heat race number 2. And Heat 2 is brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Here's a look at the starting lineup. Chris Alvey on pole position. He's in the 96 to his outside. Harold Klump in the number 2. Row number 2, it's Sam Bachman in the 107. Next to him, it's Slide Job Isaac Salas in the 5. Row 3, Dylan Kinsey in the 639. It's Logan Wentz in the 118. The final car on the grid for Heat 2, Bob DeGood in car 7. Butters predicting 9 on the fall-off count. Not a lot of people guessing out here too early.
Green.
Winner tonight starts on the outside of the front row as we're green. 3 wide for third, 4 wide for second. That could end ugly. Logan Wentz barely backs out of it. As man, oh man, I thought he was going around. I also thought Dylan Kinsey was going around as he got a little slideways of that 639. Heavy on the brakes going into turn number 3. Klump leads lap 1. Salas up to second, already up 2 positions. Alvey third, Bachman, those are your 4 transfer drivers of the moment. But Salas dealing with some neck code issues. Whatever it has to do with the virtual reality headset. Meanwhile, 3 wide for the third spot. Here comes Logan Wentz trying to go for the 2-for-1 discount. Bachman, meanwhile, slide jobs Alvey for third. The 96 crisscrosses. A little bit of bumper-to-bumper contact. Here's the race for the 4th and final transfer spot as Wentz moves up to 4th as he finds his way past Bachman. 3 FTM drivers against an independent 96. Bachman with a problem on that 007. Not too sure what it is specifically, but he lost a lot of time to Kinsey, Wentz, and Alvey. Here's the battle for the lead. Salas side by side with Klump off at 2. Salas the quicker car by 500ths last time by at a 15.75. Quickest lap of this heat race so far off the corner. Klump edges out the 5 car at the line. That time by with Salas at a 15.59. I think without question we should see Salas out in the front. However, Alvey has the number 5 clear for now. This could get interesting. Coming to 2 laps to go. Nice traction off the corner by Isaac Salas. Using the banking as momentum. Klump picked up a 10.5 that last time by. Back to the race. Wentz third, Kinsey fourth. Alvey now down in the 5th position. Heavy contact with Bachman. They're likely going to be in the final spot in. Here comes Salas through 1 and 2. Slide job on Harold Klump. The 2 crisscrosses, and he hangs on to the race lead for now. Here they come. Checkered flag, side by side. Photo finish. Give it to Klump. 0.04 of a second. Salas second. Wentz third. Kinsey fourth. Bachman 5th. Alvey 6th. And a good 7th. What a great race. We now move on to heat race number 3. That's brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. And here's the starting lineup. Slide job Scotty on the pole. Scott Rayom in the 444 to his outside. Michael Vitale in the 213. The Jokester on the outside. Row number 2, it's Hundred Joseph Grandy in the 518. And the Philly Flyer defending series champ, Trevor Giroux. Row number 3, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. And Eddie Brissett next to him in the 015. Rounding out the grid tonight, it's Gary Sigelcow in car number 25. The scientist checking in chat room. I'm going to guess he's rooting for Sam Bachman because he just said Sam Okada. I like that. That's pretty funny.
Green, green, green.
Winner starts the inside of row number 2. Here we go. Good slide job from Scott Riom as he hangs on to the lead. The Jokester counters it back. 3 wide for third with Grandy stuck in the middle. Tries to find his way past both Giroux and Brandon Dittmer. Lap number 1, meanwhile, led by Scott Riom, but it's a smorgasbord for second on back. Grandy and Vitali duke at it. They're wheel-to-wheel off for turn 2. Giroux trying to be a factor on board with a 518. Meanwhile, as Grandy tries to force it 3 wide, Giroux may even thread the needle for second, but he's got the final transfer spot for right now. Netcode bumper by Giroux. The Philly Flyer underneath Grandy for third. As he hangs on to the spot. Meanwhile, Brandon Dittmer downstairs for the final transfer spot in. Can he get past Trevor Giroux for fourth? Bicknell to Bicknell into turn number 3 and 4. And at the stripe, give it to Dittmer. The low line, nice place to be in turns 3 and 4. High side, you get some really good exit off of turn number 2. There's still 3 wide, meanwhile, for the third position. Giroux sends it in deep. Slide jobs Joseph Grandy. The 518, meanwhile, crisscrosses. We've got 2 laps to go. Check that, 3 to go in Heat 3. That's still anyone's race. Amongst the 3 drivers in this battle, one of them will go home. It may be Trevor Giroux. Nearly has all 4 wheels go off the track. Giroux sends it deep into Joseph Grandy. They touch. Dittmer off the throttle. And now Eddie Brissett up to 5th. Could Eddie Brissett have an opportunity to strike at Trevor Giroux for 4th? We'll just have to see. The Philly Flyer just terminated that battle for 3rd. It's Grandy followed by Giroux and Brissett. Dittmer all over the 015. Final lap underway, 1 to go. We haven't even mentioned the leader in this race all race long. It's Slide Job Scotty in the FTM Express number 4. Through turns number 3 and 4, Scott Riom takes the checkers and wins Heat 3. Vitali 2nd, Grandy 3rd, Giroux 4th, Brissett 5th, Dittmer 6th, and Sigelkow in 7th. One more heat race left to go here. Let's meet the field and give you the starting lineup. Randall Dixon on pole position. He's in the 011. To his outside in car number 88, Soupy Dan McLaren. Row number 2, the Ant-Man. It's Anthony Morano in the 32. The Magical Ant-Man to be specific, or the Magic Ant-Man, whatever it is. And Brian Dickens in the 122. Row number 3, Jake Henry, the Snake in the 171. And it's Greg Parmalee in the number 4. Final car on the grid, it's Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93. The Magic Ant-Man is what Morano is. Okay. I know we started giving him the Ant-Man nickname, and then I think Morano added in the Magic Ant-Man, so I like it. All right, winner starts on the outside of row number 2 tonight. Everyone else moves on to the B main coming up next. Ooh, Henry, contact with the 4. Parmalee, sideways he goes. Finds a way to keep it straight, but loses a ton of time. 3 wide for the second position. Contact between Brian Dickens and Randall Dixon off of the corner. Dan McLaren leads lap number 1. Dickens trying to look underneath the Bandit for the 3rd spot. Unfortunately, doesn't work. Your top 4 drivers all ripping the lip in the turns number 3 and 4. High side, the place to be for right now. McLaren holding on to the race lead, but Morano all over the bumper of the Venom Racing 88. Morano with the small diamond in 3 and 4. Nice exit off the corner for just a moment, but cannot pull up to the door of the 88. That actually helped him out get the quickest lap of this race so far at a 15:82. They may have to take a send to pull up even with the 88 for the race lead. On board Morano. McLaren just had the quickest lap and is trying to run away with it at a 15:77. Jason Butterfield currently the first car out. He's 0.6 behind Brian Dickens, but the 122 just laid down a 15.89. That's his best lap of the race so far. Morano, meanwhile, with a slide job for the lead. McLaren tries to crisscross with 2 to go, and now we're starting to cook at Lernerville. McLaren leaves Morano the lane. That way McLaren can try and send it, but man, Morano's just so good, whichever line it is. Final lap is underway. A 3-car battle for 4th in the feature tonight. Morano or McLaren. They're still wheel-to-wheel off for turn number 2. You know McLaren's going to send it with a slide job through 3 and 4. Morano tries to counter it back, but McLaren takes it on the last lap pass. Morano 2nd, Dickens 3rd, Dixon 4th, Butterfield 5th, Parmalee 6th, and Henry 7th. I know that does not count as a fall off, so man, what a heat race. Been a good way to kick the night off for sure. So now we move on to our B main 4 tonight, and here's how they line up. 12 drivers in it. We take the top 8, bottom 4 go home. It's Butch Baker on pole position, the 97, to his outside. It's the Sam Maconda, Sam Bachman in the 107. We're stealing that, scientist. Row number 2, Eddie Brissett in the 015, and Butters next to him, Jason Butterfield in car 93. Row number 3, Shaggy, Zach Chapman in the 72 after getting quick time earlier on tonight. Chris Salvi next to him in car 96. Row number 4, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in car number 83, and Greg Parmalee in car number 4. Rounding out the top 10, the jokester, Michael Vecchio. I'm sorry, Vecchio in the 247. I'm thinking of Michael Vitale. Next to him, it's Bob DeGood in car number 7. Final row tonight, Gary Sigelcal in the 25 and Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. We will focus on the driver starting in 8th.
Green flag.
We go green after lap 1. As we're underway already, 3 wide for the 3rd position. Zach Chapman trying to mow the lawn and go 2 for 1. That unfortunately doesn't work out as we're wadding them up in the back of this pack. Here they come. Who leads lap number 1? It's Butch Baker, followed by Sam Bachman. Now we go to the race for the 8th spot. Currently, Greg Parmalee has it at the moment. Jake Henry sideways and collects Michael Vecchio in the 247. So we know Vecchio will not race, so the feature will have to rely on the sponsored big block. But right now, it's the 4 of Greg Parmalee in with company from Bob DeGood for 8th. And now Henry gets in the back of DeGood and goes around. So Greg Parmalee is very happy about that. Nothing in the rear view mirror, and the gap is at 3 seconds over Henry and Sigelcal as they battle for 9th. Now they have to hope for a wreck amongst this huge pack as Sam Bachman just took the lead over Butch Baker. Zach Chapman in 3rd after laying down a 15.67, and around goes Bachman. Bachman got turned in front of Butch Baker. In victory lane he goes. Bachman now currently out of a spot. This was the driver that came in as one of the favorites to win the championship and will likely have to use this one as a drop race. He has 5 laps to go, though, to get up to 8th, which is currently held by Jake Henry, and he can see him in his sights. Greg Parmalee now up to 7th, but he has lost a lot of time to the Snake. While Henry trying to pull away from both Gary Sigelcal and Bob DeGood. 4 laps to go. Bach, without question, having to send it past DeGood up to 10th. Henry's gap over Gary Sigelcal, 0.7 of a second. 3 laps to go in the heat race. Zach Chapman started 5th. He currently leads this one by 0.3 of a second on Butch Baker. It's still Henry, though, that is in command of this field. Oh, that was tight with Greg Parmalee as they banged for 7th. Parmalee on 2 wheels. He hangs on to it. Down to 8th, and he goes around. Gary Sigelcal now in the final transfer spot with 1.5 laps to go. And it's a 0.6 of a second advantage on Sam Bachman. Can the 107 make the show? Meanwhile, through 3 and 4 comes Shaggy, the mystery machine. Zach Chapman takes the win, and he starts for the 17th spot. But meanwhile, here goes Bachman underneath. Final spots on the line. Single cower, Bachman! Bachman steals it over Gary. By the skin of his teeth, Bachman makes it in. You love it for the 107. But man, oh man, you hate it if you're Gary Sigelkow. So we will step aside and take a break. When we come back, it's featured time in the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continuing here at the moment. Trevor Giroux currently the quickest driver on track at a 15:77. And now it's Joseph Graney that goes up to the top of the charts. 15:72 for Hunter Grand. Dan McLaren now third, 15:77. Same with Sam Bachman in fourth. Zach Chapman is fifth at a 15:79. So with that, we are just about set to meet the field for tonight's 30-lap feature. Let's give you your RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Alex Pomelo in the 397. To the outside, it's Harold Klump in the number 2. Row number 2, Slide Job Scotty, Scott Rayom in the 4, and Soupy Dan McLaren in car 88. Row number 3, Dean Reynolds in the 79, and Slide Job Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 4, the Jokester Michael Vitale in the 213, and the Magical Ant-Man Anthony Morano in the 32. Rounded out the top 10, the Brood to Beast Jeff Barker in the 513, and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 600 grand Joseph Grandy in the 518, and Brian Dickens in the 122. Row 7 Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218, and Dylan Kinsey in the 639. Row number 8, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 075, and the Bandit, Randall Dixon in the 011. Rest of the grid looks like this. Zach Chapman, Shaggy, and Butch Baker, row number 9. Butters, Jason Butterfield, and Chris Alvey, row 10. Eddie Brissett and Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey, row 11. And Jake the Snake Henry and Sam Bachman round out the field of 24. Picks to win tonight's feature. I think I am going to go with the driver, the number 4. Give me Scott Rayom as the feature winner tonight. Again, let us know your pick to win and what you believe will be the fall-off count this evening. One lap until we take the green flag. We are just about set to go for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time tonight, it's time to shake and bake. As the field makes the way off of turn 4, Alex Pablo, Hero Club, bring us to the green. It's time to get it on. Oh, look out. Clump in the middle of traffic. Brian Dickens collected. Logan Wentz has to avoid him. And the fall-off contact as well between Jeff Barker and another car. That was very tight up on the front of this field. Here's a look. Clump starting in the second position tonight. Contact with Dan McLaren from behind. We saw Randall Dixon get collected. Let's ride on board with Logan Wentz. That is a fall off, ladies and gentlemen. And so too is Dan McLaren. There's the contact. Oh man, that car nearly went upside down. Watch this angle here. So yep, he goes off track, not once, but twice. Wow. Lights are back on, so we get the field back out on the. So we get the field that are in the pits, back out on the track. So the fall-off count, ladies and gentlemen, is at 2. Alrighty. So, everyone moves up 1. Unless you spun out in that accident. Here we come back for the restart. 1 lap is complete. Three wide for the lead. Scott Rayom wasting no time, putting the FTM number 4 out in front of the field. Here comes Isaac Salas with a mega set. Rubs all over Alex Pablo, puts him back to 4th. Dean Reynolds, meanwhile, up to 2nd as Rayom leads the opening circuits of this one. Look at this mess, meanwhile, off of turn number 2 as the leaders try to follow Scott Rayom here throughout Lernerville. Salas stuck on the bottom, hoping that it can come in. Nearly makes contact with Michael Vitale. Mowing the lawn, trying to slide job once again, but just cannot gain any ground because of it. Logan Wentz, Brian Dickens, right in the basement lines as they're wheel-to-wheel for 8th. Ooh, contact with Joseph Grandy as well. More contact. Dickens slideways off for 2 and finds a way to catch it. Meanwhile, it's Scott Rayom at the front of this field 15:83, that last lap, quickest lap of the race so far, has a 0.6 of a second lead on Dean Reynolds in second. Let's get to a good battle on the track here as Anthony Morano all over the jokester, Michael Vitale. Let's go on board with him. As you see, he sends it underneath. Has to leave a lane open for both Pomelo and Vitale. But that time it actually worked for the Ant-Man. Trying to follow Dan McLaren's lane. He just got drilled from behind. I think that may have been Vitale for fifth. Finds a way to keep it straight. We should have an onboard of that somewhere. Thought for a moment that was it. Oh, actually, I think this is going to be it right here. We had it, but then I think we lost it. Salas got drilled from Vitale. That may have been what we were looking at. Apologies there, but it's still Morano and Grandy duking at it for the position. Morano still has lost a couple of spots. He's back down to his starting position now in 8th. Grandy wants the jokester. The battle for 6th. And meanwhile, still some blanking for Isaac Salas for just a moment, who's in 5th. 11 laps complete. More contact. Grandy yeets. Oh, Vitale and Morano goes off the track. Everybody catches it, but ladies and gentlemen, your fall-off count just got updated to 3. Rayom, though, still leads this race. Gap, though, has been cut in half by Dean Reynolds at 0.3 of a second. They are approaching some lap traffic. Chris Alvey in the number 96. Salas underneath on the pole sitter. Pomelo for the final spot in the top 5. Can he get it off the corner? I think Pomelo edged out the 5 car last time by. That lap, by the way, for Salas, the quickest lap of the race so far. 15:78. Yellow lights come on as Alvey has pummeled the wall. Lost it all by himself, no control, and boom. On board with the 96 leaders, we're already starting to approach him. Ouch. Right front gone. Has to put it in the pits for now. So that puts the fall-off count up to 4 tonight. Coming back to the green flag, we are halfway home, 15 up and 15 down. And Scott Rayom, that's led every lap except for 1. Salas takes her 3 wide for second, looking for the 2 for 1 discount. That doesn't work. He, though, challenges Dan McLaren for the 4th position. The bottom line works really well on the restarts. It did for Salas. He moves past his Venom teammate up in a 4. Now he tries to slide job his buddy Dean Reynolds. Keeps him the lane. We got a big stack up back. 1 car on his side, that's Jason Butterfield. Dylan Kinsey also involved, as well as Jake Henry. And now we go to yellow. No! Dan McLaren is involved. Oh, no. Not this. Oh, man. Well, here's how the accident was caused first. Watch Kinsey in the 639. Contact in front with Butterfield. Oh, a big impact. And Butters is barrel rolling in that 93. Another thing with Butterfield, I think he was trying to get that car back going. At this point, you should have just had the car towed. And look at this. Now, you see it the first time, you could blame Butterfield, but no. This is an iRacing issue here, and it needs to be addressed immediately. Because of the fact that the caution flags don't even come out when you have a huge wreck like this in the middle of traffic. Just completely uncool. It just makes the user experience not realistic, you know what I mean? For a car barrel rolling. Let's show you another angle. Look at this. He's already sideways, and a bulk of drivers are passing him. Like, how is that not a yellow on the spot? But unfortunately, and this is the part we haven't shown you. We can actually get to it. I don't think we'll have time to get to it. We saw a lot of drivers get on the binders, and Dan McLaren, unfortunately, on the short end of the stick. Suffering a bunch of damage in that.
Green, green, green.
Rayom holds serve. Look at Pomelo, though. He has cleared Dean Reynolds for second with a great restart. Can Dino grab it back? Slight contact. Look at Isaac Salas send it deep. 2 for 1 discount. No. Grandy goes around, and the yellow goes out. That will not count, unfortunately, for Isaac. Get you quick on board with him. So, we'll be 10 laps to go when we take the green flag. Back to the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Salas, second. Can he finally get this past the stick? He made through 3 and 4. What a send! by the driver, the number 5. Did that work, though? I don't think it did. Now looks for a line for Dean Reynolds. Big stack up. Salas goes off course. Apparently there's a secret golf course down there. And he'll take his fall off for sure. So Isaac, the 5th driver to fall off tonight. That puts Reynolds back down to 3rd. And his FTM teammates behind him in 4th and 5th. Morano and Logan Wentz with 7 to go. Oh, look at Kurt Schatzer sneaking his way down Mama's basement. Oh, they bang Nerf bars. Has to send it in. Whoa, that may turn out well to his advantage. And that it does. Schatzer 2 for 1 up to 5th. Here comes Trevor Giroux in the 75. Big counter back by Logan Wentz. And now Schatzer threads the needle 3 wide. This is a great race for 5th in the final stages of this one. In the wall, Logan Wentz keeps her going. Giroux, Sam Bachman right now your biggest mover. Started last. He is up to 8th if he can get past the driver, the number 75. 4 laps to go meanwhile here at Lernerville. It has been all Scott Rayome leading every lap except for one that was led by Alex Pomelo, a half-second advantage on the 397. We're still watching the race for the bottom step of the podium. The Magic Ant-Man looking to pull a rabbit out of a hat and get a podium on Dean Reynolds. Butterfield has crashed, no caution. He jumps to the pits and we stay green. We'll check on that in just a moment, but 2 sticks are in the air. 2 laps to go. For the driver, the number 4, but Pomelo is a car length back. This one is not over yet. If Alex Pomelo wants it, he's got to go get it. We're 1/2 mile away from taking the checkers. Pomelo trying to stay high as everyone's going crazy. Here goes Pomelo with a set. Slide job 397. Rayome counters it back and Pomelo wins. Oh, baby. Who saw that one coming? Alex Pomelo with the mother of all slide jobs on Scott Rayome. Third win for Alex Pomelo, his first in this class in nearly 2 years. You gotta go back to November of 2022 when he last won in a fixed 358. Only 2 laps led here tonight. Wow. Couple things we gotta look at here. 2 things I should say. Jason Butterfield first off. Yep, he just wanted to add some to the fall-off count. And one more here with Zach Chapman. Ooh, contact with Butch Baker sent him around. And a perfect spin into the infield. Okay. That won't be part of the fall-off count, but hey, that is an A for effort. Watch this from the aerial shot. There's the spin out. Right into the opening. Not bad. Not bad. So our fall-off count after this race is now at 6. But Alex Pomelo with his first fixed 358 win since 2022. I need to take a look as well and see when was the last time he won in Coast to Coast as a whole. It was in 2022, I believe. Nope, 2023. Has not won since April of 2023 in a 360 sprint car at Port Royal. So he finally gets a win sticker. Been a while since he's collected one of those. Sam Bachman, your biggest mover, up 16 spots to finish 8th. Brandon Dittmer from 22nd to 10th. Eddie Brissett from 21st to 11th. A couple of drivers with some great moves. Obviously, the heartbreaks tonight. Isaac Salas and Joseph Grandy in the end. So let's begin with our third place finisher, Dean Reynolds. Dino, a nice run for you tonight. How'd you feel about your race car? Is this something maybe you look at, try to figure out in big block practice possibly? Who do you want to give shout outs to? Up.
Guys like it, and Tommy Gunn did Tyler Pratt did a great job with it. Got a late model and sprint car coming, so I got to thank him. Got to thank you, Marty, for doing the telecast as always, and say hi to Megan and my dad, and also got to thank the new sponsor coming aboard there. Gary Singlecal helped bring in a new sponsor. I don't know the name of it is, but if you can fill that in for me, Marty.
Yeah.
Want to say thank you to them as well.
Amity Construction. I actually just realized we had your audio off by mistake, but now we just got you on while you were doing the shout-outs. So perfect timing on that. I'll just say for the viewers, he didn't know how his car was on the restart in the end, and obviously the big block's a different beast than the 358. So, but Dino, nice job tonight, buddy.
I was going to say, mutant meat, Marty's probably not the worst thing in the world. I talk too much anyways. Thanks, man. Hopefully we'll talk to you again.
Sounds good.
All right. Later.
Later. Dean Reynolds finishing third. Let's go to Scott Rayone finishing second. Scott, that has got to be gutting for sure.
Oh, God, no. I was just telling Alex, I'm so happy for you, man. It's so cool to see somebody else win. Yeah, it was awesome. He raced so clean. It was great. I loved it.
It was great to see Alex win for sure. Did anything surprise you in the final laps that, he was up there, and did you expect the slide job coming in 3 and 4?
Yeah, I did. I like everybody that was watching in Discord was like, he's sending it. And my thoughts were he's going to send it, but it's so slick up there. I didn't think it was going to stick. That's why I didn't even try to go down there and protect the further slider. I was like, let him send it, because I'm going to just continue to run that line, and hopefully I'll get the run off, or he's going to send it right over. But he did a fantastic job. He stuck it up there, and he got me by what, 0.075 or something like that. It was crazy.
I believe so.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
If we had a long run tonight, did you feel like you would have the winning car without a doubt?
No, those guys were so much faster there. Those guys, Dean was running me down on a longer run. Alex ran me down on a short little 10-lap run. Isaac, I think, he would have got me in 1 or 2 more laps if something didn't happen there. So it's not I'm not really comfortable here. It's because it's so scary up there on that top in 3 and 4. That's the fast way around. So, I mean, I probably could have drove it a little more aggressive up there on the top, but I just didn't want to send it over.
Well, a great run, though, regardless. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
All the guys over there at FTM, you guys doing the broadcast. Gunner, Swan Speed Shop, Dean at Super Dirt Car, DJ for the awesome wraps. Gosh, I think that's all. I think that's everybody. Heather for the computer. I think that's it, man.
Alrighty, well, great job tonight. Well done. Best luck in the big block.
Thanks, man.
All right, now we're going to go to victory lane. We've got an excited driver, that's for sure. Alex Pomelo, his first coast-to-coast win since 2023, and his first win in this class since 2022. I believe they say Félicitations in French. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's right.
Awesome.
Félicitations.
How does this feel, man?
Wow, it's incredible. I don't think I have win, but I think yes, I win. That was amazing. When I see tonight's Lernerville Speedway, I saw no foul counts. I think I'm be one of them, but I be able to stuck in the, I think Lightning Larry White lane, and to be able to pass at the last corner for the win.
Hey, it worked out pretty well. Did you expect Rayom to maybe play defensive there in that final lap, or were you surprised that he kept the high side?
No, I think he said to me, I don't push to be a mistake, and I know like he drives it. I say he will protect the win. I say I go for the win in the last corner if I able to pass it clean, because I want to race clean every race, and the car pass, and I was very happy.
How are you going to celebrate this one tonight?
With a little beer.
What beer do you guys drink up in the Quebec area? Is it Molson, or what do you guys drink?
Yes, Molson. Tonight it's Miller Lite. One
Okay.
Miller Lite for the victory.
Okay, all righty. Well, hey, who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
To you for the broadcast, you do a great job, Marty. I think you're one of the best in iRacing, and when you go at your home racetrack, I think it's always be a pleasure to listen to you. Team ATR and all people watching the lives, and especially my dads who watch all the races. Thank you for supporting me.
Well, congratulations, Félicitations once again. Well deserved, and I don't know if I should say best luck at the big block or not. You may want to enjoy this one. Just be done for the night and enjoy it.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Alex Pomelo, his first win in this series since 2022. First one in the league in the sanctioning body since 2023 in a sprint car at Port Royal. Wow. Well-deserved win, and more importantly, it was clean, and he earned it, that's for sure. Man, oh man. Alex Pomelo gets the win. Here is another look coming to the checkered flag as we go to commercial break. First win in nearly 2 years for Pomelo in the fixed 358s. We'll step aside as we go to break. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Right when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, I hope you can hear me now. We're back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we get set to go for big block action brought to you by Justified Motorsports. We are having some technical difficulties at the moment when it comes to controlling our cameras right now. Actually, you know what? I'm just making sure that we can get everything to work, and I think we can. However, though, don't be surprised if we cannot access our replays. Because right now, I have a frozen mouse. Or do I? I've got a frozen mouse, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do anything qualifying-wise unless I go ahead and restart my mouse here real quick. Turn it off and turn it back on. See if that possibly works here as we watch Jason Butterfield take some laps here in qualifying. Keep you posted on who is qualifying where. Right now it's Trevor Giroux, the quickest on track. Scott Rayom now quicker, 14.905. I think we got everything now. Yep, we're good. Just barely, although the CPU's, again, it likes to freak out on us. Oh, I think, did we get it? I think we may have gotten it now. Yep, I think we're all fixed back up, so. Okay. So I think all is good on that side. Scott Rayom now the quickest. A 14.905. Jeff Barker working on some laps as well. He pulls her off the track. Let's go to Dan McLaren, the 88. $15.36 for McLaren. Dittmer better in 19th at $15.35. 3 heats for you set for tonight. So we will have everyone in the show. Scott Rayom is the quickest. Michael Vitale, I believe we are looking at Michael Vecchio, Bob DeGood, and someone else in Heat 3. I couldn't look closely enough. But so we get set to go for Heat 1, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, official team of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Vecchio on pole in the 247 to the outside. It's Dylan Kinsey, the number 639. Row number 2, the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. And slide job Scott Rayom in the 4. Row 3, Chris Alvey in the 96. And it's Logan Wentz next to him. Wentz in the 118. Rounding out the grid tonight, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. And Alex Pomelo in the 397. So as we get set to go for tonight's feature, winner starts on pole position. Everybody makes the show.
Green, green, green.
Stand by, the green flag waves. Heat race number 1 underway. Vecchio with a good jump in the 247. Kinsey trying to stay wheel to wheel with him. Who leads lap number 1 at the line? Man, Kinsey with a big burst of speed. A lot of contact. Vecchio goes around. Watch out. Alvey on the binders gathers a piece of that too. But man, what a burst of speed Dylan Kinsey had. He came out of there. Man, I don't know how he came out of there, but, I mean, it was very fast. Alex Pablo also very fast in the 397. 15:38 for the driver of that ride. Here comes Rayom for the lead, looking to get it from his FTM teammate. Slide job Scotty as he goes out in front of the point. Kinsey, though, able to counter it back with a crisscross as the field's in turns 3 and 4. There goes Rayom. Welcome to the fall-off count, my friend. And so Kinsey remains out in front. But Alex Pablo's got more in the tank, especially after that 358 win. Also has Wentz behind him, and same with Jeff Barker. 3 to go in heat race number 1. Barker trying to grab third. Pomelo trying to grab the lead. Got a 0.3 of a second advantage on Pomelo as the 397 has to deal with the RU18. White flags out. Final lap is underway as Pomelo kisses the wall. Let's see if Wentz can use that to his advantage. He does with a slider in 1 and 2. Crisscrossed by the 397, but they touch it at 3. Does that affect Pomelo's momentum? We'll see. You know who's going to win the heat. It's Dylan Kinsey at the line for heat 2. Logan Wentz steals it by 200ths on Pomelo. Barker 4th, Dittmer 5th, Vecchio 6th, and Alvey 7th. So the fall-off count now goes up to 7. Heat 2 brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Here's how the starting lineup looks for this heat. As it's Bob DeGood on pole in car number 7 to the outside, it's Dean Reynolds in the number 79. Row number 2, it is Zach Chapman, Shaggy in the 72, and the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. Row number 3, Butters, Jason Butterfield in car 93, and Greg Parmalee in the 4, rounding out the field, Dan McLaren Soupy in the number 88. Steve King Foundation pace truck on pit road. Green flag is out. Heat race number 2 underway. Dino with a great jump of the 79, but look at Morano. Around goes Shaq Chapman. No! 2 of our booth boys get together. And now Morano off course once again. But it's Dino out in front of the 79. Bob DeGood second. Greg Parmalee third. Dan McLaren round out your top 4. Luckily, again, everybody makes the show regardless. McLaren's slide job works to edge out Parmalee for 3rd. The 4, though, tries to counter it back. McLaren now wants another spot. 2nd on DeGood. Can he take it off for 4? So right now, no. So that fall off count now is at 8. Halfway home, 4 up and 4 down. Reynolds with a 1-second lead on Dan McLaren. As it's now a 3-race battle for 3rd. DeGood up on 2 wheels for a moment. Morano with a slide job up to 3rd. He's got it, trying to recover after he went into the golf course in 3 and 4. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not a golf course. I should say a sand trap. And DeGood goes around off the bumper of Greg Parmalee. And guess what? That counts as well. Now Bob DeGood goes golfing, and we're at 9. Oh, Jason, you better hope we have nothing the rest of the night. Final lap underway. Steen Reynolds of the Super Dirt Car Series, number 79, now in front of this field. Checkers wave. Dino wins heat race number 2. McLaren 2nd, Morano 3rd, Parmalee 4th. DeGood 5th, Butterfield 6th, and Zach Chapman in 7th. One more heat race left to go. Here's the starting lineup as Randall Dixon, the bandit, on pole position in heat race number 3. To the outside, it is the 213 of the Jokester, Michael Vitale. Row number 2, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 75, and Sam Bachman in the 107. Row 3, Jake the Snake Henry in the 171, and Harold Klump in car number 2. Final car on the grid, it's the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. Again, everybody makes the show here tonight.
Green, green, green.
Vitale and Dixon duke at it on that front row for the race lead. Giroux almost thought about sending it 3 wide. Lap number 1 led by the 213. Dixon tries to slot up in front of Bachman. Here comes Giroux, clips the grass berm in 1 and 2, hangs onto it. Dixon may have Bachman clear for the second spot, and he does. Drew lifts for just a moment, but look at Patrick Spangler on the baby bottom. 15-17 last time by. Best lap after 2. Could this be the best lap after 3? On the banking, looks for momentum. That doesn't work. Lost about a half second to Michael Vitale. Four up and 4 down, halfway home in the heat. Nice pass from Bachman up to second pass sticks. The 011 counters it. Giroux hanging on to 4th for right now with Spangler in 5th. 2 laps to go in the heat. And now Bachman wants the lead from Vitale. Can he get it off for turn number 4? Not just yet. White flag is out. Final lap underway. You got to protect the bottom here in 3 and 4 if you're Vitale. But Bachman's got a chance at it. They're side by side to turn number 3. Vitale hangs on to the high side. Bachman looks for bite off for turn 4. Keeps her on the bottom. Oh my goodness, that was way too close. Scoring has Vitale by 300s. We'll have to see. It was Vitale by 400s at the line. We'll step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's the feature on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continuing here at Lernerville Speedway. Randall Dixon the quickest at a 15.2. Anthony Morano second at a 15.22. Same with Scott Rayome. Trevor Giroux was fourth. Now he's fifth at a 15.23. Logan Wentz goes up to the top at a 15.16. All these drivers are testing the top. See how risky you can get with the biscuit. So we are ready to go for our feature tonight. Let's meet the field and show you how they look. Here is the RSN Trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Dylan Kinsey in the number 639, and to his outside, it's the driver of the 79, Dean Reynolds. Row number 2, it's Michael Vitale, the jokester, in the 213, and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row 3, it's Soupy Dan McLaren in car number 88, and Sam Bachman in the 107. Row 4, Alex Pomelo in the number 397, and the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, in car number 32. Rounding out the top 10, the Bandit, Randall Dixon in the 011, and the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 6, Greg Parmalee in the number 4, and the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 75. Row 7, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and Bob DeGood in car number 7. Row 8, Harold Klump in the 2, and Michael Vecchio in the 247. Rest of the grid, row 9, Jason Butterfield, Butters in the 93, and the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 10, Chris Alvey in the 96, Zach Chapman, Shaggy in the 72. Row number 12, Jake the Snake Henry in the 171, and Slide Job Scotty, Scott Rayome in car number 4. One lap to green as we get set to go for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. It's been a phenomenal night tonight of action, and we hope to end things off with a bang. We had a phenomenal finish in the 358. We hope to see you in the big block. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck is in. It's time to shake and bake for one final time tonight, because where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast at Showtime in Lernerville. Kinsey with the race lead early. Dean Reynolds in second. Vitale and Wentz Ducata. One driver over the banking. That is Greg Parmalee in the 4. How far is he over the banking? He's over where it counts on the fall off. We stay under the green flag, but Dean Reynolds, and we got more trouble. Chris Salvi around the 96, and we also had Patrick Spangler enter the pits. I don't know why, though. So a couple of things we got to look here for you. We'll add one on the fall-off count in just a moment for Greg Parmalee. Here's a look at what happened to him. Contact with Brandon Dittmer. Around he goes. Whee! Now, if that was a sprint car, that car would probably be pulling a Dean Meitzler. Patrick Spangler with big contact from Bob DeGood. And he'll also be a fall-off count victim. Perfect entry along the pit road. I'll give him credit for that. Our fall-off count is at 11, and this is the cause of the yellow with Chris Alvey in the 96. Racing with Zach Chapman for position. This is near the back of the field. Just try to avoid hitting Shaggy. So first yellow of the night waves. And while we wait To go back to the green, here's a reminder of our schedule for next week. We'll be back with you Monday for Monday Night Madness at Kokomo. Brought to you by Extreme Esports TV, Regency Home Inspections, Malcolm's Mills Metal Writing, and Flatline Racing Bodies. Tuesday, we got Old Timer Tuesday with the retreads at Fallujah and Fix 358s and DW12s at Daytona. Next week on Thursday night, we'll be at Lincoln Speedway. Don't miss out on that. We're back to the green flag. 2 laps are complete in this feature. Dylan Kinsey holds serve, but look at this. 3 wide for second. Logan Wentz trying to thread the needle and go with the pass. Contact along with Michael Vitale. The 213 able to hang on to it. Up there he goes with more contact with Wentz. Here comes Bachman. 4 wide down the back chute. Who lifts here first? Nobody lifting. Oh my. 4 wide for half a lap. Spangler and Vecchio both go off course together.
All right, man. Caution.
And the yellow flag waves. Just making sure it's because of that reason. And that it was. Man, I tell you, nobody was lifting 4 wide. That's incredible. First off, Patrick Spangler. That time he looks to be okay. Apparently it was between Spangler and Vecchio. Ooh, contact between Vecchio and another car. Both of them go off track. Let's ride on board with the 247. So we're at 13 now in the fall-off count tonight. Yeah. Jake Henry just went in too deep to the inside, and he was not clear. First restart coming up here with second restart with 5 laps complete. Believe this is our final double file restart coming up here as we're back to green. Keep your eye on that 79 after restarts because before he went to yellow, he had the quickest lap of the race at a 15:51. Kinsey, though, able to hang on to the lead. 3 wide. Once again, Bachman has to back out. That almost was about to be ugly between him and his teammate, Logan Wentz. Stuck up top, and I believe out of the ballpark for a moment was Anthony Morano. We'll have to look at a replay real quick and see if that is what Ant-Man indeed did. All 4 wheels off. We're back to yellow. And it was more with Morano. That's 2 fall-offs for the Ant-Man in just about 1 lap. The fall-off count is at 15. I don't know. Who made a guess? I know Butterfield guessed 9 tonight. Don't know if any of you also played our game where you guessed the fall-off count. So Kinsey remains the leader here. We'll go 1 to green this time by. Alrighty. 9 laps complete. Kinsey leads, Reynolds second, McLaren third, Vitale fourth, Wentz fifth, Bachman, Pomelo, Barker, Giroux, Dixon round out the top 10. McLaren for second. You get it? Not yet. Wentz challenging Vitale for fourth. McLaren stays door to door though in turn 4. That doesn't work. Reynolds is able to clear. Good exit off turn number 4 from the RU18. Now is underneath on Vitale. Can he take fourth from the Jokester? Not just yet. It's a hornet's nest though. And this battle for the race lead nearly got ugly as Wentz almost clipped McLaren. So much good stuff to watch here tonight, that's for sure. Oh, man. Wentz forced his way through here, and that may cost him badly. Up on 2 wheels, left rear quarter panel damage. That puts him down to 6. Sam Bachman moves up a spot. As he's up into 5th. Dean Reynolds also apparently went off track. He lost a couple of spots there. What happened to the driver of the 79? Dean wanted to add one. And apparently Jason Butterfield may have gone off course, and he's around. And the yellow flag waves here. We're just before the halfway point. Yep, Butterfield went off too. And got into 247. A heavy impact that he took. So we are at 17. I would appreciate one more fall off. Then we're good. Then we are good. I don't want any more after that. Anyway, I want to go back to the schedule. Forgot to mention as well, Wednesday night Hometown Heroes at Knoxville with the 360s and 410s. And Thursday night, small blocks and big blocks at Lincoln Speedway. Want to give a big shout out to Amity Construction and Justified Motorsports, Vitale's team, for really stepping up. And without them, this series is not possible for sure. Halfway home this time by 15 up and 15 down.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag back out. Kinsey holds serve, nearly 3 wide for second. McLaren up to that runner-up spot with Dino's fall off. Wentz now on the bottom step of the podium. And slots his way in front of Vitale to hang on to third. Manning cuts off the 213's line. That is phenomenal defense. In fact, that actually helps out one of his other teammates too. Bachman uses it up and he moves his way through to fourth. Wentz now trying underneath, but we got a good race for the lead. Dan McLaren challenging Dylan Kinsey as you're on board with them. 3 cars under a blanket for the top spot, all separated by about a half second. Could even enter Bachman now into the fray. Next time by, we'll have 10 laps of racing to go. As your top 4 all single file, 3 of the top 4 FTM. Dan McLaren in second out of the Venom camp. Wentz wants the second spot. Can't get it off at turn 2. Ooh, almost slid up the track to go for it. But can't get it done, and it sounds like Alex Pomelo has crashed. We'll keep you posted on that, but man, we just cannot keep our eyes off of this battle for third. Or for second, excuse me. Look at the 397 real quick. The 358 winner will not get it done tonight. Oh, and McLaren spins from second spot. Oh, no. What happened to Soupy? Bachman, nope, that was all McLaren. Off the track. Ooh. He caught the Jersey berry in the background near the stands. Right on board. Took 2 big hits there. So we've stopped the field, not because of a red flag, but because we got to get the pace car out on the track. So the lights are off. 6 laps to go when we come back to green. And it's now an all FTM podium.
Green, green, green.
Back to green. So Kinsey holds serve. Vitale stuck back in the 4th spot. Bachman all over the bumper of Wentz for second. That's just what Kinsey needs to pull away. 6 laps remain. Kinsey after a heartbreak last week at Weed Sport. Love to get one to come back to him, but here comes Bachman. 2-for-1 discount, not yet. FTF 3 wide for the lead. With 5 laps to go, Kinsey with another slide job, and he hangs on. Bachman's got the line though. Where in the world did Sam Bachman come from? That's like an RKO out of nowhere. The 107 to the lead after starting 6 with 4 to go. So that puts Dylan Kinsey back to 3rd. The driver that's led the most laps so far in jeopardy of losing this one. But now tries the top out on Logan Wentz for 2nd. The 118 tries to throw the slide job. That doesn't work either. And now Kinsey back through the 2 spot. Now has to make up a 1/4 of a second on Sam Bachman with 2 to go. Trevor Giroux is off course. We're at 20 on the fall-off count. But this is the battle for the win. All FTM drivers, 1 lap to go. If Kinsey wants it, he has to go get it. But he's got company with Logan Wentz. That should be enough for Sam Bachman, the driver of the FTM 107. makes his way through 3 and 4 as Wentz looks to peek at it. Off the corner, Sam Bachman takes the win. FTM sweeps the podium. Kinsey second, Wentz in third, Vitale fourth, Reynolds fifth, Barker sixth, Rayom seventh, Dixon eighth, Morano ninth, Chapman 10th. Rayom, your biggest mover, from 22nd to 7th. A half-second margin of victory. Here comes the entire FTM gang. Give their congratulations, and I think Dino says it's burnout time. Dino was a little bit stalled there for just a moment. We take a look at the rest of the field. Couple of heartbreaks there tonight, that's for sure. Fall-off count is at 20, so if you play the prices right, I technically win. But let's see what else you guys put down. I had to turn off my YouTube earlier because of CPU stuff. And it looks like it was just Butters and I. So, Butters, GG. Alrighty. All the FTM guys are in here. Let's go to Logan Wentz. Logan, how enjoyable is is once again another podium sweep in this one tonight?
It's awesome, man, especially when you race with these guys. It's always clean and we make it fun.
Take me through how you felt your car was tonight.
The car felt great. It was real hooked up. I kind of fell back a little bit after I went off the track, but I reeled her back up to third, and I was happy with it.
Well, regardless of that, a great performance for you tonight. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
First of all, these boys over at FTM for always giving a fun place to run. They're just good group of guys to run with. Castleberry Flagstone for keeping me employed each week. Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Swan Speed Shop, MDI TV. You for putting on these broadcasts, and Coast to Coast for giving everyone a place to race.
Alrighty, man. Well, great job tonight, and best luck next week.
Thanks, man.
Logan Wentz with a third place finish. Let's go to Dylan Kinsey second. Dylan, I know you wanted that win, but this second place finish has to feel pretty good after what happened last week.
Oh, yeah, I was starting to think, maybe it was redemption. This race was going just like last week, a ton of cautions, and, I'd start to break away, then a caution would come out, start to break away, caution come out. And I actually told the guys in Discord, I'm like, this is just like last week, bunch of cautions, and then, some craziness happens at the end, but it was a good run. When Sam got, I think when me and Logan were fighting for the bottom, we kind of killed our momentum, and Sam got us on the high side, and I actually had to drive harder than I wanted to on the high side once Sam got by.
Yeah, did you expect Sam to get there out of nowhere, I should ask you?
No, that's why I think me and Logan were killing our momentum, battling a little bit, and Sam was just going where we weren't. So, and I didn't, we got mirrors. I didn't see it in time, so it is what it is. But the team's on the podium. That's bigger than a win for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
Oh, all the guys at FTM, DJ for the Rap, Dean Reynolds at Super Dirt Car, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop. Everyone at Coast to Coast that makes it happen. Just last week was they had to make some tough calls, and they pulled through. And I hope we start having a little less cautions, especially if I'm in the lead. But I got to thank you for doing the broadcast, and everyone else that made a great race.
Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Dylan Kinsey, your second place finisher. Oops, I think I just moved to the wrong one. I did. My mouse is kind of not the best, to say the least. So, but anyway, to Victory Lane we go to talk with your winner, Sam Bachman, in the 107. Sam, what a race at the end. Take me through that pass for the win.
Well, I knew that DK and Logan were going to be fighting for that bottom, so I just tried to go up in 1 and 2, and I got a wicked run, and I just knew that was probably my only chance to throw a slider, so I threw it in there, cleared them both. I was a little worried I was going to park it on Dylan, but I cleared him pretty good, and we just raced it out, and it was pretty one-laner at the end, though, to be honest. It was just, if you're on the high side, if you weren't, you're getting passed.
Once again, what's this FTM podium tonight mean?
It means a lot having all of us guys up here, showing everybody what we can do and all that.
Next week, Lincoln Speedway. How do you feel going on into that?
I feel pretty good, actually. Lincoln's probably one of my favorite tracks, especially when the high side starts coming in, when you can just bang the wall there.
Well, great run, though, for you, and another win. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
All the boys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, he's really been working hard and getting some dig lately for us. Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Marty, you for broadcasting, and Coast to Coast.
Congratulations on the win. Well done. And hopefully we see you in Victory Lane again next week.
Thank you, sir.
Sam Bachman taking the checkered flag in week 2 of the season. So with that, that is going to do it for us here tonight. Thanks for joining us on your Thursday night. It's been a great night of racing. And until we meet again, on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig and his great crew of admins, Marty Sakala saying so long. Congratulations to your winners this evening, Alex Pablo and Sam Bachman. So long.
Hey Marty,
What up?
I think you're still alive.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
My mouse ain't working.